It was the kind of bitter cold that cut through bone. Snow clung to the sidewalks, half-shoveled and crusted with dirt. People rushed past, wrapped in scarves and heavy coats, heads down, focused on getting inside, on warmth, on survival. No one noticed the scruffy man sitting on the bench outside the old public library. No one, except Emma. Emma was just 17, her coat threadbare, her sneakers soaked from walking through slush. She worked the early morning shift at a bakery on Main Street and took home leftover pastries in a brown paper bag for her little brother, Caleb. Her mother had passed away 2 years earlier, and her father, too broken, too lost in alcohol, barely spoke a word anymore. She was the glue holding their fragile world together. That day, her stomach growled, but she ignored it. Emma had one sandwich left, just ham and cheese on white bread. As she passed the bench, she saw the man again. Same one she'd noticed the past 2 mornings. Same dirty hoodie, same torn gloves. Something in his eyes caught her off guard. He didn't beg. He didn't look at her. He just stared at the snow, like he'd lost something he'd never get back. Without thinking, Emma stopped. She reached into her bag, pulled out the sandwich, and gently placed it beside him. "You should eat something," she said softly. The man turned to her slowly. His face was unshaven, his eyes tired, but there was a flicker of surprise, almost confusion, in them. "Thank you," he said, his voice gravelly. Emma just nodded and walked away. She didn't expect thanks. She didn't do it to feel good. She did it because she knew what it felt like to be invisible. 3 days later, the knock came. It was early evening. Emma was folding laundry in their tiny living room, Caleb was on the floor drawing with broken crayons, and the heater was making its usual clanking noises. The knock startled her. No one ever visited. Not here. She opened the door slowly. A man stood there in a tailored black coat, polished shoes, and a wool scarf. Behind him was a sleek black car, engine still running. Emma blinked in confusion. "Are you Emma Reed?" the man asked, holding a leather portfolio. "Yes," she replied, hesitantly. He opened the portfolio and pulled out a photo. It was of the man on the bench. "My name is William Hayes. I work for Mr. Charles Donovan, CEO of Donovan Enterprises. 3 days ago, he was disguised as a homeless man as part of a personal project he's been conducting. He was sitting on that bench when you gave him your last sandwich." Emma's heart pounded. She didn't understand. Was this some joke? I thought he was hungry," she whispered. "Exactly," the man said, smiling. "Mr. Donovan saw hundreds of people walk by. You were the only one who stopped. The only one who gave without expecting anything in return. He asked me to find you." Emma was speechless. William continued, "He would like to meet you. And he has something he wants to give you." "I don't understand." "Emma," he said gently, "Mr. Donovan was once in your shoes. Poor. Alone. Someone gave him a chance. Now he wants to do the same for you." That night changed everything. The next morning, Emma and Caleb were driven to the Donovan Foundation headquarters, where Charles Donovan himself greeted them with warm eyes and a firm handshake. He looked nothing like the man on the bench. Clean-shaven, strong, composed. But when he looked at Emma, there was recognition, respect. He offered her a scholarship, full tuition to any college of her choice, a stipend for living expenses, and weekly groceries for her family. He enrolled Caleb in a quality after-school program and arranged for a therapist to visit their home to help their father. Emma cried. She'd never known kindness like this. She didn't think anyone noticed her, let alone believed in her. But the story didn't end there. Emma chose to study social work. She wanted to be the kind of person who could see the invisible, lift the forgotten, and fight for the lost. Years later, with a degree in hand and strength in her heart, she opened her own community center in the same neighborhood where she'd once handed a sandwich to a stranger. She called it The Bench, a place for warmth, meals, and second chances. The story of the sandwich spread. It inspired hundreds. And Emma, the girl who gave without knowing who was watching, became a beacon of light. Because sometimes, the smallest acts of kindness ripple into the biggest miracles. And sometimes, the door you open out of compassion is the same one through which your entire life walks in. The message? Never underestimate the power of kindness. The world is always watching, but more importantly, so is your heart. And when you lead with it, you invite blessings that no money can buy.